Yay, everybody. Woo-hoo. It's Dance Party Friday. We like to give you all a chance to find your way right here, right now, with the four ladies. Woohoo! We love it. We're having it. We're so glad you're here with us.
Business doesn't happen in the office.
Oh, and there's a commercial.
There we go. Business doesn't just happen in the office.
Thought it was commercial free. YouTube. I guess it wasn't. Somehow an ad just popped up inside. So welcome everyone. Woohoo! To the High Vibe Tribe. It's your tribe, your high vibe. Are you high vibing today? Woohoo!
Yes.
Let us know in the comments where you are hailing from, what country, what city. What are you doing in your part of the world today? Because we're over here in America, in the US, and we're high vibing. It's Friday. Get the vibe going. Woohoo! Please give StreamYard permission to have your name featured up there. Here are the directions to give them permission. Otherwise, we just see Facebook user, and we don't know who that is. We'd like to answer your questions. We'd like to include you personally. And the only way we can do that is if you let us know who you are.
Who are you?
Who are you? Oh my goodness. Wow.
From an airplane.
Wow.
Thank you, sweetheart.
How exciting.
That's commitment, right? That's a high viber on the plane and with us here on the ground.
That is awesome.
Oh my goodness. How many people are sitting around you, girl? Right? Holy cow. I wonder how far are you on the ground? Are you in the air? Like, we've never been that high before. Talk about high vibing.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
You know, your High Vibe Tribe, we've been doing a lot of new things recently. You know, we had our very first, what was that? Our first? It's coming to me. Medical intuitive.
Yes.
Very first medical intuitive. Very first time we had two men on the same live stream with us. So that is so exciting. Let's see what else people are saying. Hello. Dushanka, we love you. Mwah. Fly safe. Have fun. Wear your mask. Be safe. Hold your breath. And we have a donut mask. Ashni's donating her donut mask.
Nope. No donations on this end.
Just energetically though. And
My sparkle mask.
if you would like to take a little sleep while you're up there, we have the donut eye mask.
Yes.
Do not miss High Vibe Tribe. So cool. Oh my goodness. Like, can you just imagine, like, hey dude, check this out. I like, right? Like, how cool is that? Hey lady in the front seat, check this out. So cool. Let's see who else is with us. Tammy White. Woohoo, Tammy.
Hey, Tammy.
Hello, beautiful. So glad you're here with us. Thank you for joining us. Beautiful Tammy was one of our previous guests as well. Hello, Facebook user. Woot, woot. Love it. In America. And the High Vibe Babes. Ooh, Ooh. I wonder what that would like to look like. The Facebook High Vibin' Babes. Right? We can get t-shirts. You know, they have the Hooters girls. We're the High Vibe Babes. You know, I believe we do have some creative, not clients, but watchers, listeners,
yes,
participants who, you know, let us know what you think about that. What would that like to look like? You know, perhaps a new banner to be created. We've had the High Vibe in blue for a while, and now we are your High Vibe Tribe.
Yes.
Who else would like to play with us today? Holy cow. Oh my goodness. Yeah, nice. Dushanka is back up there. Smoking hot. She is. I'm sure you are, girl. I don't know if I'm allowed, but she's a rebel. Did you guys know? She is this gorgeous, hot, amazing being with a heart of gold, and she is a rebel. And so she is prepared to create some magic with where she's headed and what she's doing. So we're very, very excited for you, Dushanka. So happy for that. We will definitely keep us informed as to how that is going for you, for sure. Yay! Baby people are listening. So they must be like little kids on the plane with you on the flight. Holy cow. Oh my goodness. She says,
taking off.
They're taking off, girl. All right. Thumbs up. I feel like we're at the runway. We're giving your air
going in the high.
Yes, we're giving a point election. We're gonna clear all the weather for you. What is that?
You're gonna point to the exit.
Yeah.
In the back. Over there in the back.
The wings.
In the wings. In the wings.
Put your oxygen mask on first.
Yeah, like
Fall from the
Seatbelt. Buckle the seatbelt if you've never done that before in your life.
your flotation devices are under your seats. And then follow the lights that are on both sets of the rows of the aisles for you. Yeah, we're not having any fun whatsoever, anybody. Like, welcome to Friday.
Yay!
Holy cow. Thank you, everyone who's joining us. So take a minute, and we're going to do it right now too, and take this live stream that's on the High Vibe Tribe, and would you share it to your page? And would you take a split second to share it to your group so that way your friends, family, and colleagues can also have the awareness that there's a different possibility here on the planet. And we, as the High Vibe Tribers, are here to shift and uplift, and we are going to bring in an entirely different frequency to your High Vibe Tribe for you, so you can have the awareness, a different possibility than what the narrative is that's sort of rolling out on the planet. And we have an amazing guest with us here today, Dr. Debra Pavlovic. Woo-hoo! Dr. Debra, so glad you are here with us. Thank you. Was that a Halloween costume?
No, it's your skull.
Oh, it's our skull. Yes, of course it is.
Your brainstem. Brainstem.
The brainstem. Our pinky and the brain.
Brainstem.
So cool. So glad you're
here. Props.
Woo!
But this is the most fun one, the drill.
The drill. We're going to talk about that. I am sure of it. I am Susan Shatzer, the Earth Empress. People say, well, where are you from? I'm like, I'm from all around the world. This body happens to be in the United States, but I'm just super expansive, facilitate all around the world. So that's where I hail from. I am a global consciousness revolutionary, and my target is to bring to you the people, places, things, ideas that you haven't had access to before until today. So glad you are all joining us for sure. Thank you. JD, my beautiful love from Arizona, who is all hot and bothered.
It's hot today.
There, it's like 100 and something plus all the humidity that comes along with it.
Yeah.
Humidity in the desert from all the swimming pools.
Yes, the desert.
Yeah. It's not actually like hot. It's only 102, but it's like, I don't know, whatever percent humidity. You walk outside and it's like, you're wet.
Yeah. And it's a good thing that Janie has naturally curly hair.
It just keeps getting curlier.
Right. Exactly. Those of us who have straight hair, it would just be like flat.
I go to the beach and I have like an afro.
Yeah, those who have straight hair want curly. Those who have curly want straight. Whoa.
It used to be
don't have
straight.
hair, just one hair.
You know what is so cute is like Janie's redhead, Ashley's darker, and I'm a true blonde. Can you tell?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you can.
Or you know what? I'm gonna do half and half, and Dr. Debra is the true blonde today. I'm gonna be half and half. I'm gonna go both ways. Just saying.
She's got straight hair on one side, curly on the other.
Right?
There you go.
Half and half. I'm half and half today.
Half
I can pull it off.
Yeah.
Pull anything off, girl.
My hair has, information, and my hair decides on its own what it would like to do. And it's so interesting that this is what it picked today. Yeah, so Janie, my girlfriend, tell us, you have some amazing news to share. What is happening?
So we have
Galactic Code Activator. When you come on with us, when you say Galactic Code Activator, like, do you activate something for all of us? Like, is it transmitted? Is it transmuting? Is it transgressing? Is it transforming? Transmigrating? Translocating? All of us at the same time?
It's activating. Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. Good to know. Thank you.
Yeah. It's just, it's one of those interesting things that when I focus on it, it activates and it goes where it's required.
I love it.
Yeah.
And humanity requires a lot right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So lovely. We have some new guests who have joined us this week. Thank you, everyone who has been inviting their friends and colleagues to join the High Vibe Tribe. And who might those people be?
So we have no Priscilla this week, but we have Alexa is back to announce our new guest.
Bring it, Alexa.
Oh, volume would help. Okay, here we go. Hold on. One second.
All right, you're going to make me do it.
No, I got to turn my Bluetooth off because it's talking, but it's talking through my earbuds.
Yes.
So only you get to hear the new guest.
Yes.
Or not me, because it's not even these ones. It's different ones.
Oh,
Okay. Here we go.
bring it.
Marijana Perik Bolingsa, Dawn C. Meyer, Alazer Dyer, Jeanette Susan Anderson, Elias Mumd, Gaurav Prashar, Loki Marvel, Sophia Renia Morales, Stephanie Michelle Wilson, Pravani Moodley, Alexander Lederer, Watt-Fi Watts, Jennifer Hitchcock, Laura Slotnick Hay, Nadia Linda Hole, Selena Sense, Dolores Mascarella Coonley, Debbie Rawlock Embry, Preston K. Thompson, Jovito Pino Hookett, Darshini Narain Sammy, John Edward Wood Jr., Shirley Squires, Michael Chudzik, Barbara Sanchez Harding, Herman Fergerstrom, Debra Pavlovic DC, Elizabeth Monroe, Missy Peckham, Pablo Hernandez, Joanne Klein, Jason Teichner, Don Burnett Webb, Brooke Perry, Oak Lee Virgin, Don Lisa Nows, Monica Farby Arts, Emily Shaw Osborne, Elaine Stigler Applegarth, Mark Rapp, Robin Armstrong, Jackie Melton, Amanda Zuries, Susan Mainwich, Andrea Isaacs, Francis Cesar Manzano Pira, Veronica Teichner, Dina Palmer, Antoinette Nirvana Lang, Wendy Pierce Gonzalez, Steve Sapato, Cole Mahui, Stella Montoya Trevino, Charlotte A. Bear, David Sandercott, Louise Cano, Crystal LaRoche, Andrew Gillespie, Wendy Stokes, Ramona Friedman, Rachel Moore, Sue Jacobs, and Chissy August Brooks.
Welcome, 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 everybody. Woohoo! Do we have a total of how many that may be?
Oh, we still have more.
Oh,
It didn't finish. So hang on. Here we go.
Oh,
Farby Arts, Emily Shaw Osborne, Elaine Stigler Applegarth,
Now, did we do that?
Mark Rapp,
Yeah.
Robin Armstrong,
Yes.
yeah,
Jackie
Okay.
Melton.
yeah. That is so cool. So just so
And one more.
what else?
We have a rising star. I think so. That's like the first time I've noticed we have a rising star.
Wow, who might that
Yes. And so what that means is how many times a person posts in our group.
be? Hmm.
Yeah. So Miucha Silva is our rising star.
Hello, beautiful.
Yes.
Congratulations. Yay. Woohoo. Rising star posting it. Yeah, all of you brand new members and current members and, members to be in the future who are just seeing this now. Feel free to post comments, likes, shares. What is it that moves you? Ask questions in the group. Let's create a different possibility for everybody around the globe. So, Janie, thank you so much for doing that.
You're welcome.
I'll tell you, Dr. Debra, we had tried our best for the longest time to do the pronunciations of all of our new guests. And because she's laughing already. She knows. Because it was so global, like all the names, we really tried our darndest, to do them justice. And one of our guests that was on there, Priscilla, she says, I'll do it for you guys. And she's from South Africa and she has this just fluent voice and accent. And she just has this way with language that everyone just sounds royal and noble. Versus we just chop them up. So when Priscilla's not here and Janie's going to share, why can't Priscilla be with us today, Janie?
Well, Priscilla is very, very busy doing her magical wellness lifestyle conference. I almost forgot what it was called because we call it the WLC.
okay.
Yeah.
So what is special about it, Janie?
So she has 70 speakers and 20 new speakers that she's bringing on. And this is a monthly conference that Priscilla puts on every month from now on. It used to be only you could go in person, and I think it was once a year, but due to the pandemic and all of that stuff, they went online, and it just opened it wide up for a global conference. So it's really cool. And something else that is going on tomorrow too is the round table with Nirvana. Nirvana is one of our members, but she works with Priscilla in the conference, and she does a roundtable radio, I believe.
I believe so. Yes.
Yes, and so I'm on that as well tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. bright and early on Saturday.
That's great. What's the topic, Janie? It's a conscious conversation.
Yes, it's conscious conversations, and the lineup of guests on there is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, it's going to be really amazing. So is it 5 for them in South Africa and 8 for you?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. That was the slot we had last time. Yes, yes, yes. So get your coffee ready, get your bagel ready, get your
donuts,
your donuts, your beignets.
It's a wellness conference.
Your biscottes. And
blueberries. Don't forget your blueberries.
Yes.
Oh, the blueberries. Yes.
Blueberry.
The BB&B. So this is the information here. Janie, would you go ahead and also post it on our Facebook page as well?
Yes.
And also in our group chat for everyone else. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my goodness. So Priscilla, we send you lots of love. Honey, we send you all of our heart energy. We give you great sleep tonight. We are so excited for your second one this year. And we can't wait to see Janie and Nirvana and the rest of the group from all around the world tomorrow. So best wishes for all of you. Congratulations, congratulations, and congratulations with that. Woohoo! Ashley Mulchin.
That's me.
It's in the house. She's our breath expert meditation specialist from the US.
Is that your antennas?
No, I'm just pointing at me.
Do you know,
everyone misses it.
When you have that shirt on, it reminds me of, do you know when you would look at something and you have to like change your focus?
Yes.
That's her.
There she is. There she is. And then there'd be like a hidden picture in there, like an elephant with a ball or something. I feel like I need to stare at your shirt.
It's a dress. It's my dress that some special person got me a few years ago. So I'm wearing the dress today.
I love it. And black and white. So you've got the
and there you have Dr. Debra with her tool going.
Yeah.
Adjuster.
She's gonna be building. She's gonna be building some things.
Yeah.
Check it out. Look, the curl went to the other side now.
That's right. There we go.
My hair has a mind of its own. I love it.
Not just your hair, darling. Not just your hair.
So Ashley, with all of these new members that we have coming in, we have a member appreciation event, special event that's going to be taking place. We are going to be hosting a movie. I don't know if you know about this, Dr. Debra.
I saw.
So yeah, coming up in October, it's going to be 10-10-10. So it'll be October's the 10th month on the 10th day, and at 10 a.m. Eastern time, we are going to have our movie appreciation where everyone, all the members from all around the world come together. And when we come together, we can chat in the chat because we'll be featuring it on Zoom and we'll talk about it. So they have a choice right now. Do they not, Ashley?
Yes. So anyone, not just the new members, anyone who is part of the High Vibe tribe.
Yes.
We usually have a posting there, and I was looking for it, but somehow it like went to the bottom. So Facebook is doing all of these new things. Technology is our friend, so we have to like get used to it again. But there is a posting where you, as a high viber, a high vibe viber, can triber, high vibe tribe, high vibe triber.
Driver.
You as a member, you can go in and vote for one of your 4 movies. So we have
Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park.
yes, and
Inception.
Jurassic Park. Something Airbender. Fender.
The last Airbender.
Not the cartoon version.
Right.
Not the cartoon version, the
Non-animated.
real version with real people.
Yeah. Inception.
Inception?
Yes. And then
Is
the
that-
one you and I love.
Yeah.
It has clouds.
Cloud Atlas.
Atlas. And that's who
Cloud
I
Atlas.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So we picked that in honor, Dr. Debra, of having you as a part of our group. So we're calling it your movie,
Yes.
Cloud Atlas. And I have to tell you, one of our Facebook friends is saying they're sitting here laughing. That's the word we must be using today. That was probably when we were doing like transmigration, transportation.
No, it was Vibers. It was Vibers.
So
Yes.
So
So
what?
we want people to go and vote.
yes.
Because the movie with the most votes is going to be shown. Hey, welcome back, Tammy. So the movie with the most votes is going to be shown on October 10th at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. It's 10. So come on, join us
10. 10,
from
10, 10.
anywhere in the world. But we do need your input on which movie would you like to be seen.
Yes. Yes. So we'll have, Janie, if you're, I think Janie, you're free. If you'll because you made the post, put that back up, and it was interesting because 2 of them were tied.
Yes, I saw that.
Hi, Ross. How are you? Good afternoon, sweetheart. Glad you're here with us.
Hi.
So it was the last Airbender, right? And Jurassic Park.
Uh-huh.
So we need some of you to break the tie. Just go in there, get your friends to go in there, and choose whichever movie would be the highest and best for all of you, which ones you would like the best for sure.
And I think after today's talk, they're all going to vote for Cloud Atlas.
Yes.
I think so too, because there's something very special about the Atlas, and it's not the man that's holding the world on his shoulders. It's not that Atlas. Am I right, Ashni?
Yes, ma'am, you are correct. You are completely correct. And we do have this wonderful lady here with us, Dr. Debra Pavlovic. Pavlovic. Okay, I call her Dr. Debra because this amazing, wonderful lady has saved me.
I choke everyone with collars.
Yes, I should put her on
I'm
too.
getting ready.
This is our magic collar that we get after we have seen her, and she does all kinds of magical stuff with the body. And then she sends you out of her office to go and let the body do what it's doing.
That's right.
Shall I just introduce Dr. Debra?
Yes.
If I haven't done that yet.
Who she is and what she does.
Yes. So
I'll get my magic wand. Okay.
Dr. Debra studied and became a doctor in, was it 2006, Dr. Debra? 2005. And then she started her own practice in Atlanta, Georgia. And she kept on going and going and going. And then in 2007, she came to Florida, where now she's been here for such a long time. She's the business owner of Atlas Wellness. And she's the doctor of chiropractic practices. So Dr. Debra is amazing. She's based out of Lakeland. And there is so So her specialty is the atlas bone, like the C1. Of course, Dr. Debra will be able to say more about all of that, but we wanted to bring this wonderful lady to all of you because thanks to her, I can sit and Susan can sit properly, and the headaches, the pains, the aches, the numbness in the body. I really thought I was having a stroke until Susan was like, let me see if I can ask Dr. Debra if she has an opening. And Susan just texted her. Dr. Debra and I spoke over the phone. I made an appointment. She saw me and she showed me on the X-ray what it looked like, and I was like, whoa, okay. Can it be corrected? And since then, I've been going to Dr. Debra, and I can tell you, I sleep better, I walk better, my posture is much better than before, and I think she will vouch for it. But
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah, it's how did we say it? It's a slow process, but it goes all the way to the root. So when it is done, it may take like a year or something, but when it is done, it's done. It's like corrected. You have no symptoms anymore. So, Dr. Debra, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
Yay, lovely. Thank you so much for being here. And can I just jump in?
Yes, of course.
Okay, cool. Because it's one of those things where you get a referral to somebody else who says something to someone, and you just happen to text.
Sure.
And I did, and that is how I found you. And it was one of those interesting things. I had no idea. I'm like, I have no idea what you do. I have no idea who you are. I have no idea what the credentials are. I was just given your name and your phone number in a text. And it was like, this person will help you with your migraines, your spasms, everything that was happening. And it literally is everything that's happening. And I would love for you to tell us about that, because I wear my collar in honor. When people when people pass away, like who are like policemen, they'll wear like a black armband, or if they're in a sports team, the sports team will wear like a black band on their arm. I feel like this is my black band around my neck in honoring of you. So tell us about this Atlas thing, what it does, why it's important, and how everyone should have theirs checked.
Well, I guess I should start by saying my first husband was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 1990. Yes. I was an interior designer. I designed kitchens and sold high-end furniture and high-end kitchens. So he gets this diagnosis at the hospital in Jacksonville, Florida. I don't even know what MS is. I thought I did, but I went down to the nurse's station and I asked for a book. And I took this medical book and I looked up MS and I was like, oh, wow, this is really bad, because it's right next to ALS and all kinds of neurological diseases. Yeah, I thought, this is crazy. And so
I can relate to what you're talking about.
So I ended up traveling to Nashville, Tennessee from Jacksonville. And I was sitting at a table with a student from Life University of Chiropractic. And he was telling me about these doctors in Jacksonville that would adjust this first vertebra, and they were helping a lot of people with MS. Well, the more he talked about it, the more I thought, wow, I wonder if that would help my migraines, my PMS, my TMJ. So I made my husband and I an appointment when we got back to Jacksonville. And sure enough, my migraines went away, my PMS went away, my TMJ went away, and I became an upper cervical advocate. I started sending everybody to these doctors. So we had 30 MS patients that we had referred, and 28 went into remission. And I said, this stuff really works. Now, my husband and one other did not go into remission. But when I was 40, I decided, why do I keep referring hundreds of people to these Atlas doctors when I could go back to school and be one.
Yeah.
So at 40, I went back to school, and at 44, I became a doctor to do this work. So what this work is, it started out for me as board certification in Atlas orthogonal, the instrument adjusting. It's a table instrument that adjusts the atlas. Atlas is the top vertebra. It's right at the brainstem. So it controls everything in the body. Dr. Sue, S-U-H, out of the University of Colorado, did the research that said the weight of a dime, against a nerve can change that nerve's function up to 60%. What if it's cranial nerve 10 that innervates your heart? That's why the NUCA study, which is a hand adjusting upper cervical technique, showed that adjusting the atlas can actually lower blood pressure and change heart rates. So we have a lot of research that we're working on right now. I have advanced from Atlas orthogonal in 2005 to advanced orthogonal in 2008. And then in 2013, 2015, they rebranded Advanced Orthogonal to Epic, which is a new instrument that I've had on order for 3 years now. So I'm praying that I can get it delivered fairly soon. And this instrument actually will correct some of the misalignments that have been hard to correct with the older tables, just by virtue of whatever your listing measures off the x-rays. So we're very specific in how we take our x-rays. We're very specific on how we table place a patient. We're very specific on how we adjust. And then when we get these corrections, we take post x-rays to prove everything that we've done so that we can do it better. Because your health depends on us doing our job the best we can. And we're never good enough. I mean, when is it good enough? You know, it's only good enough when everybody's well.
Exactly.
That's for sure. That is for
Exactly.
sure.
And
So
when,
activating the brain is the primary. You've got to get the brain working.
yeah, because one of the reasons why we thought it would be good to bring you're doing this, and it's something that, you know, you get into accidents or you make a misstep or something, and people do not realize that even those small incidents have an effect on our atlas,
Your nervous
your
system.
nervous system.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, even in medical science, in medical doctor world, okay? You have a doctor for your eyes, you have a doctor for your nose, you have a doctor for your mouth, you have a doctor for your ear, you have a doctor for your heart. But the
And your feet.
doctors do not communicate with each other, and they don't for your teeth if you still have teeth. But they don't realize that one can be connected to the other, and then
Right.
the other can be connected. So if you have a chance to attend to one of the things that is going on, it may be possible to heal because it's one body that we live in.
Well, our body actually heals from the inside out.
Thank you.
It doesn't heal from the outside in. So you can have all the drugs on the planet, all the surgeries on the planet, and still not be well, because that's not how our body heals.
Yeah.
Innate intelligence in our body heals our body. If I get a cut on my hand, I don't know how that heals, but I don't have all the cuts on my hands I've had in my lifetime. They heal.
Yeah.
They heal from the inside
That
out.
would be bad.
Yes, I was thinking about that the other day because I don't really like those scary movies. But
Yeah.
I thought, wow, what a Halloween costume if you could just kind of put all of the injuries you've ever had in your life on your body and walk around. That'd be pretty scary. But one time I was sitting in the doctor's office in St. Pete, Florida, waiting for my Atlas x-rays next to the doctor's daughter. And I said, Cassidy, shouldn't you be in school? And she's about 7 at the time, and she looked right at me and she said, I need my power turned on.
Oh.
And I said, exactly. She gets it. She's been raised to understand. It has to do with energy. It has to do with your vibration. It has to do with your power. How do you have your power turned on if it's dimmed right at the brainstem?
Yeah, that was one of the things that you and I talked about, because the atlas. Do you have your brain stem there?
Brainstem?
Can you hold that? Yeah, hold that up, because can you point to like where that atlas is? Because our skull sits on it, does it not?
So there's the brainstem. The brainstem is attached to the spinal cord. And the spinal cord is attached down at about the level of L1. That's kind of at the bottom of your rib cage. That's about where L1 is. So where the bottom of your rib cage is actually the end of your spinal cord, and it's held there by dentate ligaments. Then it goes all the way up, and it's attached to this brainstem, and then the brainstem has the brain above it. All of that can be tethered. So if you have a fall and injury, scoliosis, anything that's moving these bones out of place, it can actually tether the spinal cord. Well, since it's attached at L1, the only place that it can move is up here at the brainstem. And if it sucks that brainstem down into the foramen magnum, which, that's Latin, so medical doctors sound really smart. They want us doctors to sound really smart. So I always, when I have kids in the audience, I'll say, so do you know what foramen magnum means? And they say no. And I said, foramen means a hole and magnum means big. So you have a big hole in your head. But if the doctors went around saying that the brainstem can come through the big hole in your head, that doesn't sound as really, like they're that smart as it could come through the foramen magnum. So I always try to make everything fun, because, to be a doctor, you go to school. I tell the kids, if I could do it, you can do it. You go to school and you go into the registrar's office and they say, okay, so you're going to take 5 classes next quarter. Here's the classes. So you go and you take those classes, you take the exams, you pass those classes, and then the next quarter, you go to the registrar's office and they go, now you're going to take these 5 classes. And at the end, they give you this big degree you can hang on the wall that says you're a doctor. It's not that hard. I mean, seriously, we need more doctors out there. And here's why I say that, because medical doctors, starting with the Flexner report of 1910, the Flexner report was hired by the Carnegies and the Rockefellers, that he went around the United States and found out what schools and what hospitals were doling out drugs. And because they sold drugs, they started giving money to those entities. And then they made the AMA, and then they started to catapult what they do above everybody else, not because their therapeutics are better, but because they had money and political backing.
Yeah, and we at 1910, it's now 2020.
Yeah.
That's like that's a century.
They've had 110 years of controlling our health. And yet, if you'll notice, the United States keep falling further and further and further down. Like we're like, I think it's something like 47th in world health. We're not the healthiest nation in the world.
No, we're not.
But we spend the most on our health. What? We spend the most on our health and we're not the healthiest nation? I don't mind
eating McDonald's.
Yeah, right? Because we're eating McDonald's, yeah. Well, because the FDA approves a Big Mac, but they won't approve an Atlas adjustment with an instrument.
Yeah.
Not, they have, but I'm just saying, it just gets really hard to produce well people. There's no money in well people. If all of you were well and never needed a doctor again as long as you lived, they'd be out of business.
Yes.
I haven't needed a medical doctor since 1992.
Imagine
that.
that.
I've only gone to naturopaths or chiropractors since 1992. And when I got my life insurance policy at age 50 for 20 years, I got a life insurance policy that's like dirt cheap, because they take your blood and they go, wow, she's going to live forever. Yeah, no, but seriously, if people watched their diet, made sure that their nervous system was functioning at 100%, exercise, you don't even need to exercise that much. 15, 20 minutes walk a day is more than most Americans are getting. Mm-hmm. Couch potatoes live longer than the people on drugs, on medical drugs. It's really sad. We don't understand that it's that simple. And you go, well, why don't all the chiropractors do what you do? Well, because there's no money in well people.
Yes.
I'm not a doctor that's going to say come every day for 2 weeks, come 3 times a week for 6 weeks, come once a week for the next 12 weeks. I don't say that to my patients.
No.
I go, that's ridiculous. I don't have the time to go to the doctor every day. Why would I want you to come to me every day? We got to get more people well. They just told us at a symposium this weekend that only 9% of the population is using chiropractic care regularly. We go, wow,
Really?
we're after the 92% that don't know what we do.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, it's like, it's really that easy.
So
And there's
one of our,
there's a lot of upper cervical doctors out there.
so Tammy Sue is talking about having rheumatoid arthritis, fibromyalgia, and lower spinal surgery. So she says she gets it. I think she has a question in the next comment here, that she lives with neuropathy from her lower spine to her toes on both legs for 15 years now. And she learned to walk and move daily, controlling her weight and learning to teach her body to hold its proper form. People do not realize how many of their choices affect their whole life. What advice would you have for a patient who comes in with these symptoms of neuropathy, pain, tingling, and not being able to feel?
So here's the thing. We don't know what happened when she had the lower back surgery. So there may be a limitation of matter. But I tell everybody, we start with where you are, and I don't beat you up because you made the best choice that you knew at the time.
Right.
So now that you have another choice of something that might help, then what you do is you seek out a specific atlas correction, because what probably was wrong from the beginning was she wasn't centered over gravity. So the skull weighs about 15 pounds and it's held up by a 3-ounce atlas bone. And that all needs to be centered over gravity. And if it's not centered over gravity, one thing to do is stand in front of your bathroom mirror, close your eyes, turn your head to the right, left, and center, open your eyes, and just don't move your head and see what you look like. Do you have a high shoulder? Is your head tilted? Is it rotated a little bit? All of those things tell you it's probably an atlas misalignment. So I don't know with someone that's had surgery, and I've had many patients that have had great results, even though they've had surgery. But if you're operating right now at 50%, and this atlas correction could get you at 80%, wow, that's pretty amazing. And I've had patients like that. You can't get them to 100% like you could if they were a newborn baby or a 5-year-old. But someone 80 or 90 years old that's had multiple rear end collisions, multiple injuries, multiple whatever, you may never get them to 100%. But like I say, if they're only operating at 40, 50%, you got them to 70 or 80%, they'd be happy.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a win.
Yes.
Yes.
So I know when we were there, Dr. Debra, because you also see my son. Okay, so we can laugh about it, but it wasn't really. Okay, yeah, it was funny at the time too. So you had him close his eyes and do something, and then start walking in place.
Okay, yes, that's called Fukuda's step test.
Yeah.
So what they do is, a doctor needs to perform that one though, because there are chances patients can fall over. Yeah. So that Fukuda step test that I did, I'm very cautious with that one. I've actually had to stop the test with patients that had vertigo or something where they'd fall over.
Oh.
Yeah, you can't have somebody get hurt. That would be bad.
Yeah, he's 6'2". If he was going down, honey, he'd be taking you down with him. But no, and so in his brain, what was so interesting about it was in his brain, he thought he was walking. He was in place,
Standing in one place. Yes.
Right. And then he ended up he was moving.
Well, so what that is information from the body. Okay, have you ever played the game Telephone or Gossip?
Yeah.
So you sit in a big room, a circle, and one person starts a story and they whisper it in the next person's ear, and it goes all the way around the room as a whisper. And when it comes back, the person to the right of the person that started it announces what the story is, and it's so far away from what it originally started. Well, that's kind of what our body does. Like a mosquito will land on your right arm, And you either feel it because the message went up to the brainstem and said, hey, there's a mosquito biting your right arm, or you see it. And then the other hand goes down and wipes it off your arm so it doesn't bite you. All of that is like micro milliseconds. I mean, it's so fast that you don't even know. So something like that. So those messages that are getting to the brain, your muscles are constantly telling your brainstem where you are in space. If that information is garbled because there's a misalignment that's pinching off that information, they don't know.
Yeah. Tammy is saying that she doubts she will ever know whether the problems before or the surgery caused the damage. But she is just living and moving towards the best that she can and moving forward with what she has.
Right. But has she been checked? Has she had her atlas checked?
Well, let's ask.
Yeah.
So Tammy, let us know. Tammy is in Washington State.
In Washington State. Oh, that's great. I have a lot of friends up there. I have doctors I can refer her to up there. Yeah.
Perfect.
So she's in a good location for doctors.
Yes. So
there's some places that aren't.
Right. I can imagine. Some just, this doesn't take off in the area.
Right. I have patients that come in from Palau, from Dominican Republic, from Haiti, Italy. I've had patients from around the world come in and get care. That's why I strive to do work that will hold long enough for them to make that a beneficial trip.
Yes.
Perfect. So Tammy just popped in and she said that she has not had that checked yet.
Let's make sure that we get her information so I can get that to her. I'll give her some doctors out there, or we can post doctors from Washington State on the website, and then she can say.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need her to get.
Tamara, sweetheart, we will get you, my friend. We will get you aligned, straight. So I was so impressed with myself with the results that I had, and Ashley as well, because I had migraines almost once a week, and you explained it where can you tell everybody a little bit about the 90-degree turns?
Right, the vertebral artery.
Yes. Can you explain that?
Yeah. The vertebral artery, there's two, right and left. You have a right vertebral artery, a left vertebral artery. You've probably heard of your right carotid artery and your left carotid artery. So those are the four arteries that carry all of the oxygen to your brain and brainstem. Those are the four arteries that carry all the nutrition to the brain and the brainstem. So the vertebral arteries are way out here. Oh, I'm trying to get this. So the vertebral arteries are way out here on the atlas. Mm-hmm. The atlas is wider to hold your skull up, and C2 on down is narrower. Mm-hmm. So these vertebral arteries start at C5, C6. They go up through those little foramen. Remember, foramen means hole. So they go up through these little holes. And when they get up to atlas, they turn 90 degrees out, 90 degrees up, 90 degrees in, 90 degrees up to get through the atlas vertebra so that they can join the basilar artery in the brainstem, and they supply 100% of the blood to the brainstem. So medical doctors, you'll never hear them talk much at all about vertebral artery because they don't know what the heck to do with it. Because they don't. They can surgically do things with the carotid artery, but they really don't want to mess around with the vertebral artery out here. So when we make these alignments and make these corrections, so if you picture it, so for instance, if you had a kink where your cervical spine was going to the right and then your skull went the other way. So like if you open your eyes and your head's tilted one side. So it's like taking a water hose and kinking it. So if you kink a water hose, do you get more or less water?
No water.
Yeah, you get less.
A lot less.
Yeah, you don't get no blood or you'd be dead. So, so we know it's less blood, yes. So what we've seen is we've actually seen it on a video fluoroscopy where it showed that it was trickling on that side and then gushing on the opposite side. So for Susan, like if it's gushing on the other side, on the inside of the skull, the brain is slapping the inside of the skull. And that's like, you'll hear people say it's like it's going to pop my eyeball out of my head. Well, yeah, because that blood flow is gushing on that one side. So when we get the atlas alignment, it corrects that, and now the blood flows both sides. But I'm working on my diplomat now, which is a 3-year through the International Chiropractic Association's upper cervical division. The diplomat is in the cranial cervical junction. So it works with the skull, the brain stem, the C1, the C2, that whole cranial cervical junction. And one of the things that we've learned is that it's plausible. We don't know that this yet. We're working on some research to prove it. But it's plausible that MS, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, dementia, what's the one the children are getting? My brain just stopped right there. I'm sorry.
Down.
No, that with autism.
Yeah.
Yes.
So autism, Parkinson's, MS, any of those kind of diseases of the brain, we're saying it's plausible that if the blood flow can't get up, then how does the venous system bring the trash out? So if the brain is up there slushing around in basically dirty water, the blood is supposed to be the toxins.
The body's toxins that it can't flush out. That's
right.
On the lymph, the lymphatic
system. Right. Exactly. Well, it's called the glymphatic system.
Oh, glymphatic.
They found out with the glial cells in the brain, they call it glymphatic.
Like a glymph? Like that kind of glyph?
Like the glial cell.
Oh, that. Okay.
Yeah. So your brain has glial cells. So they're calling it the glymphatic system because it is like a lymphatic system of the brain. So what happens is you've got all these sinuses and things and they're all backing up this fluid. So what if the plausibility of it is whatever area of the brain is being pressured by this backup of fluid, if that couldn't be the cause of these diseases? So that if we could clear that so that the brain could flush itself, some of the football players have been interviewed and they've said when they get their atlas adjusted, it's almost like the toilet flushed. And they feel like all this came out of their head and now they're clear. So like foggy headedness, some of us have vertigo, dizziness, anything like that can come up along with these other conditions. And so we're getting really excited about it because oh my gosh, if y'all saw the technology coming down the pike, it's just amazing. And it's not to give you another pill. It's like Ashni was saying, natural healing can take longer, but when it's finished, it's perfect because no one knows how to heal your body better than your own body.
Right.
My job isn't to cure anything. My job is to remove interference so that the body can heal itself the way it was designed.
Right.
So my husband calls it returning the body to factory specification.
It's the default.
It's the
default setting on all of our technical.
Let's reset it, right? We got to get it back.
So, Dr. Debra, I had one of my clients, I referred to you, and she came to you, and she was, because you have this video that we've all seen. And I believe Ashni had shared it in the group, and we'll post it as an announcement. We'll get it up at the top with this one as well for everyone, so you can just check the announcement right there to see it. But there have been just speaker after speaker after speaker after speaker after speaker of people who've had things that doctors can't fix, can't change, can't help, can't assist, and they're living in pain, distress, trauma. And you've been able to do that for them. So when we saw that video, there was one that had to do with scoliosis, and one of my clients' daughters, had been diagnosed with scoliosis, and she was going through extreme trauma and pain with the brace that she had to wear and being bullied at school. And they messaged me, Dr. Debra, not even having left your driveway with the amazing results. Would you tell everybody about that? Because I know there's people out there who have scoliosis or who know someone who may have, you know, they give you that 30% chance of having it or 20% chance, or you have it a little bit here but not there. Can you talk about that?
There's two different types of scoliosis. One of them is functional and the other one's structural. So if you have structural scoliosis, that means instead of your vertebra being square, the vertebra are like they've got a corner missing. So it's like having a square block that's got a corner missing. Well, that means the next block above it's going to be shifted to the other side. So they're not going to ever stack up straight. So the first thing to see is it structural or functional? Mm-hmm. And if you decide that it's functional, it means something caused it. It's the function. So if it is indeed where they close their eyes in the bathroom mirror and turn their head right and left, and they find out they have a shoulder above the other shoulder, and then we can get them adjusted with this correction at the brainstem, and that can level out. So for instance, if a child fell off of their bicycle last week and the mother brought them in, their scoliosis is gone immediately. If you have a child that's in their teens, it's critical to get them as fast as you can, because as soon as they finish the ossification of the bones and finish growing,
like puberty,
right? If they get through all of that, the chances of removing the scoliosis 100% goes way down. Like I can take an adult, like for instance, I didn't know my mother had scoliosis until like the last few years. And it's because gravity starts to pull it more as you age, because she's been walking on the planet 80 years. So when she was walking on the planet 60 years, she was still working and moving and exercising, and it wasn't noticeable. But once she retired and then sat in the chair with the remote control, and you're like, Mom, you gotta exercise. You know, it's like, you got to get up and do something. But, you know, the older they get, the harder that gets to be. And we still have solutions for that in the natural realm, because I have some doctor friends that are in Manhattan, and they're doing like Scolio Fit, which are like cloth fabric, and it's specifically designed to your misalignment. And then they give you exercises that build up the muscles that are pulling the wrong way.
Yeah.
So there are specialists out there that work with us. So we get the atlas aligned so that the body has the best ability to hold a good alignment. And then we work with them with Scolio Fit so that they can be able to wear these braces that you don't see. So the kids aren't going to laugh at them, because the other braces are hard shells.
Yes.
And really that's never been proven to completely help. But the exercises, and I know a lot of these people are doing the exercises, and that's going to help them a lot. But once you get the atlas aligned, oh my word, it's exponential how everything works better. Anything that you're doing is going to work better if your brain and body communication is 100% its best. Not necessarily 100%, but the best that it can be for you.
Yes. Yeah, I got in a fight with my doctor because my doctor basically said that I had to change doctors because I got in a fight with him. He said, "There's no." I did. I fired him. You're fired.
That's right. You can fire your doctor.
I did, because he got in a fight with me about not. I needed a referral based on my insurance to go see a chiropractor, and he said that there's. I go to. I mean, he just came right. I mean, he was just so belligerent about it, about how, you know, I don't refer anybody. I've never referred anybody. There's nothing that's been proven. I go to all of the workshops and symposiums, and and he just kept going on and on and on. I said, okay, great. And it works for me. Because, you know, this is new insurance, or this is a new, whatever it was. And I needed a new referral, or a new year could be, I'm not even sure what it was. And I said, well, because I'll tell you, if I don't, then I have to take migraine medication if I'm not adjusted here. I said, because I have whiplash and I have a reverse C curve. I said, and the medication doesn't fix that.
No, it just masks it.
Yeah. And you can't help me with that. I go, but when I go to the chiropractor, I don't have as many migraines. This is before I met you, Dr. Debra. This is the regular chiropractor before I had my Atlas adjusted. Like, I can't tell you when's the last time I've had a migraine. Like, it's been months.
I haven't had one in 30 years.
Yeah.
Actually, I take that back. I had 3 in 30 years, and all 3 were gone in 20 minutes after an Atlas correction. Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, I had a pregnant woman called me at 5 a.m. and we got the phone call, and she said, I have a migraine. I said, I'll meet you in the office in an hour. I was 30 minutes away from the office. She was an hour away from the office. I said, I'll meet you there in an hour. And my husband said, do I need to go with you? And I said, no, her husband's a police officer. I said, I think we're going to be fine. So we went to the office, and her husband had never been in the office before. Now, this is her second pregnancy. With the first pregnancy and a migraine headache, they go to the ER. They won't do anything because they can't give you the medication when you're pregnant.
Right.
So they do nothing. But yet you get billed. Your insurance gets billed. Yeah. So she comes in. I already had her listing. I got her adjusted. She lays there and rests. In 20 minutes, 0 migraine. Yes. Her husband looked at me and said, Dr. Debra, I have never seen my wife's migraine go away in 20 minutes with medication, much less whatever you just did. Where do I sign up? He said, as a police officer, I heard all over. He said, where do I sign up? And we got him adjusted so that he was out of pain too. Because people don't understand. I mean, literally at 5 years old, I got my first migraine after a tornado. I had migraines for 25 years. My parents will tell you. Throwing up, passing out, dark room migraines.
Yep.
I thought everyone was in pain every day of their life. I never knew you could have a day without pain. I really never knew that. And if you would have told me that by the time I'm 60, I won't have any pain in my body, I would have said, you're crazy, because I had pain at 10. I had pain at 12.
Yeah.
I had pain at 16, 18, 20, 25. I had pain. I mean, severe pain. And then at 30, this like magical 1.5 pounds of force at the brainstem and no more migraines. What? It was very weird. It was amazing. It's just, when I have people come in that kind of pain, I can empathize because I actually felt it.
You've been there and done that. Yeah.
So Dr. Debra, can you explain, so I've had my Atlas adjusted not in a long time, but the lady that I went to didn't use the neck braces.
Right. Now, okay, then they're playing with those neck braces. Yeah. Okay. So
you want one. You want one, Jamie.
In the advanced orthogonal technique. So BJ Palmer was the developer of chiropractic, and he's the one that started adjusting the Atlas specific. And there's even books, literature. He did tons of research. So when the medical doctors tell you there's no research out there, they're just being ignorant because it's out there. They just don't want to read it because they don't do it. So in saying that, when Dr. BJ did his research, it showed that it took 15, 18, 20 minutes for muscles to learn a new position. So I can adjust you or make the correction of Atlas, and it can take 20 minutes or so for you to actually realize that that's been cleared. Like I said, in 20 minutes, her migraine was gone. Well, it's not because the blood wasn't flowing immediately. It was because the information to the brain wasn't going yet. Yeah. So the old information is still, and that's what I'm working. I'm in the middle of my diplomat. I haven't gotten there yet. So I'm still putting this information together in my own brain. But what the information is telling me is that there's firing of nerves that doesn't stop just because something changed. So that information is still going. So what we do in advanced orthogonal is where we started to put the collars on, and we do it in Epic also, is put the collar on for the first 3 hours after an Atlas correction. And the purpose is to allow the muscles and ligaments time to get used to the new alignment so that you just don't lose that alignment right away. Because again, if I have to, every time you come into my office, if I have to adjust your atlas, when did you heal? I mean, some of these,
I got to tell you, Dr. Debra. So, do you know there's a Krispy Kreme donut store like right around the corner from? I know she's shaking her head. I don't know if you know. So there's a Krispy Kreme donut store, and it's open like 24 hours or something because we normally go in the nighttime. I have no idea what is that.
I don't think it's on my good food list.
Oh yeah.
Krispy Kreme's on that bad food list.
Bad food list. Okay, so I'll tell you.
Bring in Krispy Kreme.
When you get adjusted, right around the corner from Dr. Debra, and we go. We're like, that's like how many? Do you remember Ashley? Like
three of us in the car, in the drive-through, all of us. And the guy goes like, "Are you okay? What happened to you?"
And we couldn't decide like what we were trying to order because we had never been to Krispy Kreme's.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many people, he kept asking us questions, and you can't really move when you have a collar on. So you're like this. What did he say? What did he say? Nick,
Processed food.
Nick, did you get that? Did you get that? No.
Oat stuff oatmeal.
I'm showing you my bad food list, you bad girls. Tell me something like that. No, I'll tell you a cute story about those collars. My first office in Lakeland, the landlord had the office next door. And one day he came in my office and he said, "Dr. Pavlovic, do all of your patients have broken necks?" And I said, "Excuse me?" And he said, "Does everyone that comes to see you have a broken neck?" And I said, "No." And he goes, "Well, why aren't they wearing a collar?" I said, "Would you like to see what I do?" And he said, "Yes, please." Came in and saw what I Yeah, we have fun with the collars because what happens is if you send someone, like if I send you the doctor, send the other lady to the doctor in Washington State, they may not put the collars on them there. And my dad's philosophy on that is because they don't want it to hold. But it's just in training. It's like I said, I was 44 when I got my doctorate degree, and my goal is to constantly strive to do this better and better. I mean, when we have Sonus Blueprint now, we can show the patients that we've got a 77% correction or a 51% correction. No, I want to see it in the 90s. I want to get a 99% correction. We want to see it perfected. And it just takes
even though, and I know we laugh about our ages a lot, and you and I are pretty close, Dr. Debra, to about the same age, but like you're like really on, like you're breaking ground to like brand new awarenesses and thought processes. And it's like, look, like that can't be all there is. There has to be something else. And that's what Ashley and I, we just feel that's it. There she is.
Oh my gosh. I'm in classes with 25 and 30-year-olds, and they're looking at me going, "Wow, you still want to learn more stuff?" And I sit there and cry, and I go, "Oh my gosh, I will die before you all will see like Spock stuff." I mean, where they just put their finger on the side of your neck and you're healed. But this instrument right here, I'm going to show you, is technology times 100 million thousand. This instrument right here, we will be able to X-ray, video fluoroscopy, and CT scan. They said that the doctor will get a pair of goggles that you put on. You know how you can stand there and virtually play games and stuff? We will literally be able to blow your body up to be 30 feet tall. Then I'll be able to walk inside your body and stand inside your spinal cord and look at the vertebra from the inside. and see the discs and see where it's got damage. And then later when we do post x-rays, see where it's corrected and it's not damaged anymore, where the body healed it.
Wow.
I mean, y'all, this stuff makes me queasy. It's like, this stuff is so cool. Do you know where they're using it right now? In veterinary medicine.
Veterinary?
Yes, animals. We've got humans that need this, and this is being used on animals. And I
Wow.
go, oh my gosh, can you just imagine? Right now, this piece of equipment is about $500,000. And my dad about fell over at 81. He's like, that's insane. And I said, Dad, when I started chiropractic college in October of 2000, my digital x-ray was $250,000. When I graduated and opened my first office in 2006, I was able to buy my first x-ray used for $15,000, and it was $42,000 to upgrade to digital. So that was less than $60,000 for what was $250,000 only 6 years earlier. So the more people know about this new innovations, and the more doctors that purchase it, the more the price is going to come down. It doesn't go up. It's kind of like TVs. Remember when the first digital TV came out, the flat screen TV? It was a 30-inch for $30,000. Philips made it. And now I've got a 72-inch in my office, I think it is. And that thing was $598. And it's 4K. I mean, it's beautiful. But it has come down. And see, that's where we're going with this technology. And I look at these 25 and 30-year-old kids and I go, this is so cool what you all are going to get to see. It's totally amazing.
Yeah, this party's just getting started.
Absolutely, but we've got to get the information out. It's like one starfish at a time. People don't know.
What is your drill thingy that you have? Because that I have not seen before.
This is my handheld. So this is a handheld instrument that some of the upper cervical doctors will use this. It actually has, I see the little bubble in it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It has a dial in bubbles. And so they'll be able to adjust with this. I actually use it when I'm doing like a lower cervical, like a C5. Because I do activator also. You know, the activator instrument.
The clicky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got to make sure that your doctor is using the newer ones. You don't want a silver one. You want it to be burgundy or electric. The newest one is electric.
Ooh.
But the equipment, it's like I had one doctor's wife ask me if I could show her husband how to adjust like I do because the patients liked it better. And I said, it's not that I adjust better than he does. I use $1,000 piece of equipment and his was $100. And she went, oh, never mind. I'm like, what? And it's like you have got to make sure you have the best equipment.
Yes.
Because I mean, I'm not going to spend a lot of money on a big overhead office. I would rather have my home office, which is what I have now, and be able to afford to have the best technique.
Tammy wants you to know that this is what brought you to this, is like your childhood trauma. And then with your husband having MS, you know, what a blessing for so many people. Your suffering led down this road, and she is extremely thankful for that. She's also talking about med beds that are coming. Yes, I do. I have information on those medical beds that the elite they're already using it right now. That I'm not sure how that works in with chiropractor.
Are you talking like the Beamer tables?
No. These are. I'll send you a picture.
Yeah. Well, that's like I say. Anything like your diet, your nutrients. You know, if you're taking vitamins and minerals, and how about people that are taking like iron tablets, but their iron's still low? Well, there's two things to look at. Is the brain communication there to absorb those minerals, or are you taking an absorbable mineral?
Yeah.
So, you know, there's so many ways to look at things. It's like everything works better. It's kind of like if I don't put gasoline in the car, it's not going to run.
Exactly.
So I better be eating healthy food, not Krispy Kreme donuts.
we're going to get so spanked when we go there next, Ashley. Like, I can feel a good spanking coming on. I can feel it already. It's okay. It's okay. We're truthful though. We're
You
and,
know,
and
it
what is our
doesn't hurt.
brain needed sugar? That's what we tell ourselves a lot.
The
We're
brain needs it.
it needs sugar, right? And when we get adjusted, it needs a little bit more sugar. Kind of helps us. I mean, and then we talk ourselves into, we have such a long drive home. Like
To stay awake.
we have to stay awake and it's dark and like
Yes.
Krispy Kreme donuts that melt in our mouths, will exactly. So just saying, I know you never knew that before, but we figured we'd come on live and we would just spill it all, spill the guts. I know.
Oh, that's
I know,
funny.
me too.
It's
And
gonna
my
be
donut mess. And Janie makes these masks.
Yes.
Janie
This is
makes
with a compliment from Jamie.
I'll tell you another path, like Tammy was talking about. Another part of my path was at 16 years old, I was diagnosed hypoglycemic, and that's low blood sugar.
Yeah.
Right.
And the doctor said to me at 16 years old, he said, "Debra, by the time you're 40, you'll be diabetic." Well, I looked at him and I thought, well, diabetes is high blood sugar and I have low blood sugar. I said, that doesn't make any sense to me. How does that happen? And he said, well, your pancreas is overworking and it's going to wear out. And because when you eat sugar, it has to introduce the insulin into the bloodstream and it's like an overworked engine and it'll just wear out. And I looked at him and I said, well, if it only works when I eat sugar, then wouldn't be the answer not eat sugar? And he said, well, yeah, that would work, but most people aren't going to do that. And I looked at him and I said, you're telling me that an organ that God gave me will last my entire life if I just don't eat some crappy piece of food? And he just kind of looked at this 16-year-old like, what? And I don't know about the rest of you, but those were the days of Coca-Cola and French fries. That's what you could afford at McDonald's. Just 50 cents. You could get a Coca-Cola and a French fry. And immediately I stopped eating sugar. And I'm 60 years old and I've never been close to being diabetic. And the other side of that, though, is at 30, I wonder, looking back now, getting my Atlas correction was the reason that my pancreas wasn't working correctly to shut off. Because that's what he said. Your pancreas doesn't turn off. It just keeps running. So if you have some organ that's not working correctly, is it possible that the nerve to that organ was pinched and now it's unpinched? I don't know.
So that brings me to what I also wanted to talk about is when we're in your office, you have this incredible picture and it's like a split, like a sliver of the human body of the nerves. And it shows the cell.
Yeah, that's the bodies. If anybody's seen that bodies exhibit, they've seen that.
Yeah, and every single nerve, comes from the middle, comes from your spine. It comes down through your spine and then out, down through your spine and out, down through your spine and out.
Right.
And so you adjust, and it was so interesting because when you do it, there's no pain in the adjustment. She doesn't even touch you. It's sound, right? It's sound. It's your Atlas is adjusted by sound, not by pressure or force or
vibration.
manipulation. Yeah.
Vibes.
And you've got babies. Like babies are born. You go meet them at the hospital, do you not?
Oh yeah, I've been in the NICU before. I've adjusted in the NICU. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, this is information that we just don't know about. Like this is not shared on the news. There's not, websites. If you're not in the business for this, you would not have access to this information. And it's something that is going to transform your life and your body.
It did mine. I wouldn't be a doctor today if it wasn't for my first adjustment. Yeah. I wouldn't be a doctor today.
Yeah.
It changed my life.
We can only see like your head. There you go. Okay. So
it's because I've never done this before.
Well, it was like, because I know the screen you're using is like your computer screen, and it's like huge. It's like set and tipped in a certain way, and I'm like, gosh, if I say anything now, I don't want it to fall on her. Oh, look, there you
I'm
are.
okay. I don't have to be seen. I put a chair over here for the schnauzer and she left. She's asleep. Maggie, come see Susan. Come here.
Yeah, so Maggie is a doodle.
Come here. She's my
Aw.
schnauzer.
She's a schnauzer. We
She's
call
over
her,
there going, no, it's my day off.
yeah, I call her Maggie Doodle.
Yeah,
But she's like,
it's
Rufus at the door.
her day off. She said, I'm not working today.
So fun. So if anyone else has any questions in our audience that are listening to us, please pop them in now. Ashni, Janie, did you have anything else?
Yes, yes, I have something because Dr. Debra and I have been communicating about this, and we have like similar thinkings about it. We're all in this COVID stuff that is happening,
Yes.
and it's serious. People do have it, and we're wearing masks and staying away and thinking, oh, we're safe enough. There is a vaccine being developed, and everyone will need a vaccination or stuff like that. Dr. Debra, you and I have had conversations, and you enlightened me on something that was like profound. And I would like for you to share, like educate our audience also on that. They may be aware, but they may not know some of the things that we shared yesterday, that you shared with me, and especially about stuff from the 1960s when we were getting vaccinated, then 1980, and now 2020. Like, it would be wonderful if you can share that information and a little bit more about what vaccines actually can do and can develop in systems, because we do know that some of the stuff that is happening with children are a side effect of a vaccination. And then you have that people don't really take doctors do not take responsibility because it's all, I don't want to say politics, but it is politics.
It's a lot of politics. It's a lot of politics. If you try to do something that takes away someone's income or money, yeah, then it becomes politics because they don't want their income and money stream gone. So it's so frustrating. My best thing for vaccinations is to direct people to Robert Kennedy's work, because Robert Kennedy, I love that, Tammy Sue, thank you. Yeah, Robert Kennedy, seriously, is the hugest advocate about vaccines. Here's my thought. If a woman has a right to an abortion, why doesn't the same woman have a right to not be vaccinated if she so chooses? Because I make choices on what I put in my body as far as my food, as far as not wanting pharmaceutical drugs. If someone told me, like that doctor, that I'll just be honest with you, my father has been cancer-free 10 years by doing what I told him. And when the medical doctors that were actually doing his blood work, he fired his oncologist, he canceled 6 months of chemo, he canceled 6 months of radiation. He did everything.
He went straight to
diet.
The donut store.
No, he did not. He literally cured his own cancer by changing his diet.
Yes.
And the first month, his medical doctor told him that his PSA, normal PSA for a man, is prostate cancer. So normal PSA, and my dad says it too, so I'm not HIPAA, nothing. My dad and mom tell everybody everything I do. So for them anyway. So my dad's PSA, he told me, was 24. Normal is 0 to 4.
Yeah.
And his was 24.
That's high.
Yeah, high. In 1 month, it went to 4. It went from 24 to 4 in 1 month. 1 month. Where's my 1?
30.
It went from 1 to 0 the second month. And he's been cancer-free 10 years. Last April was 9 years. So 9.5 years he's been cancer-free. And he says to his medical doctor, now that you know diet cures cancer, are you going to share that with anyone? And he said, there's no money in a diet. Y'all, there's no money in a diet.
That's exactly.
They're looking for the vaccine for cancer. They're looking for the pill for cancer. They're looking for the whatever the next thing they can sell for cancer is. Because 30%, get this, 30% of our gross domestic product in the United States is cancer treatment. When I moved to Lakeland, Florida 13 years ago, there was one cancer center. Today there's 3.
Yep.
In 2000, when I started looking at the cancer numbers, they said by 2020, 1 in 2 will have cancer, and we're there. And then they want to give all these women mammograms. Well, a mammogram's 1,000 chest x-rays of radiation. And radiation causes cancer. So I tell my women in my practice, go get a thermogram. I tell the men, go get a thermogram. And they go, what's a thermogram? Well, it measures heat. And inflammation is hot. And it will show up. Cancer will show up on a thermogram way before it will on a mammogram. And then you can make other decisions on how you want to treat your cancer. You have choices, but they don't give you, they're not required to give you all the choices. And you go, well, how fair is that? And thank goodness for the internet, because this is the way most of us have found out information over the last 15 years, is by sharing it with each other on the internet. So when I say the things that I do about health and wellness, it's because I've done the research on it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've got to find some way. So when you're talking about these vaccines, so in 1960, we had 3 to 6 vaccines in our whole life. And then by 1984, they were getting, I don't have the numbers in front of me. I apologize, Ashni. I would have had that in front of me. But I want to say it was in the 30s, like 30 some vaccines.
Yeah.
I mean, my gosh, look how many more that is. And today,
chickenpox.
They're pushing over 84 vaccines now. And one of the first ones they want to do is for hepatitis B when a baby's born. And you're like, oh my gosh, you know the 2 ways you get hepatitis B? Sexually transmitted or sharing intravenous illegal drug needles. Okay, which one of those is my newborn doing? I mean, come on, parents. All I'm saying is wake up. Don't just let your doctor shove stuff in your kid.
I know, it's so true. It's so true.
This.
I mean, So they had the chickenpox vaccine, right? I was like, really?
Chickenpox? I didn't die.
I don't mean either, but so
we got the chickenpox. All the cousins came over. We made a big chickenpox party, right? You didn't have to go to school. I'm like, what? We had 12 cousins over, right?
Right? Yeah. Right about this. So my son, right? He gets the chickenpox vaccine, and then so he's old enough. So then he has it. This is before I was conscious. This is before I was aware. So then he gets the booster. So they do a booster, right? So then he gets chickenpox. Right? He has the vaccine. He gets the booster, and then he gets chickenpox. And they have to call another doctor in, right, to verify it. And then they're like, yep, that's chickenpox. You're going to be out of school for 2 weeks, something like that. And then they're like, well, we're going to have to, so they had to take all this information down because they had to report it to the CDC.
Yep.
That their drug that they sold didn't work, right?
My oldest had the same thing.
Does anyone get their money back?
No, my oldest had the vaccination and he got chickenpox 3 times after that.
Okay, so here's the thing about the new flu vaccine that they're trying to rush out, the COVID-19 vaccine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
If the flu vaccine worked, then why do we still have the flu?
Yeah,
Good question.
Yes. And so,
it's your immune system. So guys, here's what you need to do. Vitamin C, vitamin D3, zinc, healthy diet, get your sleep, and then you'll have an immune system. Get your brain turned on.
What was the name of that guy that you said you send everybody to for vaccine research?
Robert Kennedy. His dad was murdered in California. Remember? President Kennedy's nephew.
Yes.
It literally is President Kennedy's nephew, Robert
Yes.
Kennedy. Yeah.
Yes.
And he is a huge advocate.
Yeah.
Huge advocate.
Tammy is saying that when she was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, the treatment was a disease-modifying med, which retarded your whole immune system, and that sounded so retarded. So I healed myself.
Brilliant.
Good for you,
Tammy,
Tammy.
you're brilliant.
Good. Yeah.
Awesome, Terry. Woohoo! We have a Facebook user.
Oh my gosh.
Her daughter is 34 weeks pregnant, and she has just been given the whooping cough vaccine to protect the baby.
From what?
Whooping
That's a good
cough.
question. So I'm not.
How
So
many of you had a baby with whooping cough in the womb?
Facebook user, tell us, why that was given to her. What was the
What was the reason? Like,
yeah,
what
the
was
need?
going on?
Like,
Oh,
how
that
did
was
they
me.
justify? How did they
I'm-
justify that?
I'm the Facebook user on that one.
Good girl.
Oh, that's you?
Robert Kennedy.
Robert Kennedy. Yeah, you'll find tons of stuff. Go to YouTube, you'll see all of his lectures. Oh my gosh, the man is brilliant.
So, I have a
Okay, so here's
12-year-old.
my thing. Okay, so here's my thing on this 34 weeks pregnant, right?
Yeah.
This is what I say to especially older people. They do everything their medical doctors tell them.
Yeah.
And I said, well, remember when I was a kid, I even said this to my own mother. I said, Mom, remember when I was a kid and you said, if all the kids jumped off the bridge, would you? And she said, yes. And I said, well, aren't you just doing everything the medical doctor told him? So if he told you to jump off the bridge, you would? I mean, come on, God. I know, right? But guys, look at your research. Don't listen to one doctor. He gets paid to give her that vaccine. Follow the money, guys. And you know what, y'all? I'm telling you, 1986 Act. Everybody look it up. Unfortunately, Reagan signed it into law. 1986 Act. There's even a movie on it. They caused the vaccines to, how am I trying to say this? The medical doctors and the pharmaceutical companies that produce these vaccines and give these vaccines are no longer liable if your child dies or becomes injured by one of these vaccines. It's called the 1986 Act. That's pretty scary. So when they go and say, oh, I recommend it to your newborn baby, it's because they don't have any liability for it.
And the interesting thing is when I had him, they would wait at least 6 months before they started hounding you about doing the vaccination.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
when my second one was born, it was only 11 and a half years later.
Right.
They started hounding me at 2 months old.
Oh, now it's in the hospital. They won't let you leave without two of them.
Yes.
Maybe
Well,
True.
yeah, in the hospital, but then they want to start all of the regimen at 2 months old now.
Right. I actually called a pediatrician in this town, and I said, "Let me ask you something. Why would you give a baby 4 vaccinations in the same day, even if they have a
It's
cold?"
5.
Well, but I'm saying, why would you do that? I'm talking 13 years ago when I was a new doctor. So this is what he said to me. Well, they might not come back. What?
That's exactly what they said. Yes.
Yeah. And I said, okay, here's what I tell my mothers. If you are not against vaccinations and you wanted to have them all, give them 1 vaccination and wait 2 months and give them the second vaccination. Wait 2 months and give them the third vaccination. Give them time in between vaccinations that you can see, how is my child going to adapt to the vaccination? Oh, yeah, I love you. I don't even go to medical doctors, so I don't have to be non-compliant. They don't know anything about it. Yeah, when I'm old enough to get Medicare, I'm refusing it. I'm going to say, well, I'm not going to use it anyway. Why do I want it? They can keep their receipt.
I will say that both of my children that had, my second child only had his first set up until last year, but both of my children that had any vaccinations had asthma, allergies, and behavior issues. My second one was worse. It was like borderline autism. His teacher wanted him tested, or Asperger's, whatever's really like super high functioning.
Yeah.
Asperger's, yeah.
Asperger's. Yeah.
But he, within a week of having his one set of vaccinations, he was allergic to everything and himself, from tap water to eggs to everything.
Were you in Colorado at the time?
Uh-huh.
Did you take him to your upper cervical doctor? Wow. Yeah. I would immediately, if you have a child that has a reaction to anything like that, get him to
yes, I did.
Yeah.
They said I couldn't prove it.
Well, no, I'm just saying get him corrected so that their immune system can fire up.
No,
Yeah.
she was gone by then already.
Oh.
My Atlas. Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh. Yeah. But yeah, I've actually adjusted autistic children that actually started talking. I've done corrections at the brainstem. I had one guy that had Lewy body dementia. It went away, and that one's not even curable.
Right.
I literally 2 weeks after, 2 weeks after his first correction, he went down to Tampa to see his mother from Georgia, where I was, and he came back up through, and I looked through the door, and I mean, my mouth dropped open. And I didn't see that his wife had walked in first, and she was looking at my face, and she smiled. And I went, oh my gosh, how did this happen? Because he couldn't look at me. He couldn't talk to me. She was having to do all the talking for him. He was just totally the blank stare when I saw him. He had no color in his face at all. He was gray. He literally was dying. And in 2 weeks, completely turned around, was driving his car. His 85-year-old mother from Tampa called me on the phone after that appointment and thanked me for giving her son back. Yeah, it was amazing. And I looked at that. I was like, oh my gosh, what happened to him? And his wife's going, you did this. I'm like, no. I didn't do that. And she goes, yeah, you did. I went, no. I didn't do that. I'm not taking credit for that.
Yeah.
All I did was remove it. I promise. All I did was remove interference. That's all I did. If his body needed to heal, it healed. And he changed his diet. She corrected his diet. We had him eating 6 to 12 eggs a day. Yeah. So forget the cholesterol myth. Yeah, that's another topic. Yeah. By the way, before we get off, since we're mostly women, postmenopausal women should have a cholesterol level of 270 to 300. I'll repeat that. Postmenopausal women should have a cholesterol level of 270 to 300. Yes. Your brain is cholesterol. MS is the demyelination of the brain, and the myelin on the sheaths in the brain is 100% cholesterol. So if you're taking statin drugs out there, you're dumbing yourself right down.
Right. No, I would.
Yeah, it's getting the myelin off your brain. Yeah.
Yeah, I did recently, yesterday, as a matter of fact, was given a supplement that does remyelinate now that I'm going to be researching. Yeah.
There you go.
I'll get that to you. For sure.
That.
Yeah. Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Totally incredible. Dr. Debra, thank you so much.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
Medical doctors know enough to put in a thimble. I know enough to put in a shot glass. And my house full of air is the information available. So I just know a little bit, guys. Really, there's so much out there for you to learn. Just stay true to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Dr. Debra, like, you have clients that fly from all the way across the world to come to you, to your home office, to get adjusted, like once a year, twice a year, because what you do is beyond what they have access to, even in their countries.
Yeah.
Even though
my dad held his last adjustment 7 years, so it's not like you have to keep getting adjusted.
Right. That is so amazing. So, gosh, we have had so much fun today with you, learning and just really kind of validating like what we've known to be true. And, getting this out there to everybody is what we're all about. We're consciousness revolutionaries. We're pattern interrupters.
Absolutely. We're
Yes.
disrupting. We're disruptors.
We are.
We
Yeah.
have to. You can't change status quo if you're not willing to be disruptive.
Exactly. And today is the day and now is the time is sort of like where we come from as the High Vibe Tribe. So thank you so much. Thank you for bringing your spine. Thank you for bringing your adjuster.
Your atlas.
The atlas. Yes. Thank you for taking such good care of us.
Yes, thank you.
Always, always, always a joy. Yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. So if you're just popping in now, we had a huge amount. I think it may have been over 50 brand new members. Congratulations. Janie was talking about, the Wellness Lifestyle Conference is happening tomorrow in South Africa. So check this live video. The banner is up there.
Yep, and it's in the conversation feed in the chat.
Excellent. So the Lifestyle Conference, definitely have to check that out. Janie will be interviewed there as well. And Priscilla, of course, is not with us here today. She is organizing that there with her tribe. So we're so excited, and we wish you the very best, Janie and Priscilla, and the whole entire Wellness Lifestyle Conference that's happening in South Africa. And all of you also get your votes in for our membership appreciation movie morning.
The voting link is also in the comments of
Excellent.
this. Yes.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. This is so exciting for that as well. And we are creating a workshop, which is going to take place on Halloween, called The Truth Behind the Mask. So we'll all have our masks on, all different kind of masks.
I don't have a mask. I'll make one up here. The mask maker doesn't have one handy.
Take one of mine in front of you.
So this is for you, Janie.
Okay, thank you.
So it's called The Truth Behind the Mask. We are going to have, we have 4 speakers, 2 men, 2 women. They're from all around the world. This is what they've been doing with their life. Priscilla is one of them. Suki is one of them. Owen is one, and Fraser is one as well. And they all have like a specific magic that they have been born with and they've developed. And it's just like you, Dr. Debra, that you just knew, you were in pain. Your husband had MS, and it was like this, that was your calling. You just knew that that was the direction that you were going to go in. So we love all of you. Love, love, and love. We will get that link out to you so you can come play with us. There is a blue moon on Halloween this year. So that is
super, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's super, super exciting. So cool.
Yes.
That's how you find her. Dr. Debra. Is there a way, Dr. Debra, for people to, if they have questions, can they put it right in here?
They can do that, or they can go to that website and they can email me. It's on the website. I have a new website coming out. They're working on it right now, but it won't be up and running for another week. So I'm excited about that.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Very cool.
I know. It's so interesting. Like websites, they're fun, aren't they?
I'm coming into the year 2021.
Yes. Websites are so interesting.
Because I like my paper. I couldn't believe he took away my Franklin planner. My office manager took away my Franklin planner this year. I'm still thinking I might order one just because I always order one. It's like, I want my paper back. I like my pencil.
I know. It's okay. We'll get you a wand, my friend, and you'll be all good. It's your fairy godmother. Bippity boppity boop. So, are there any last minute thoughts that you all have to share before we chat out? Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Yes. Most of you out there, you may have been having rough times this last week, maybe on the weekend. Some stuff is on. I was gonna say something bad, but I just realized Facebook I cannot. But if you have been having challenges, just know we're here. You're here. You have this one body. There is so much available at your fingertips. You go on your phone, put your phone away, open your eyes, look outside. The sky is there, the trees are there, the flowers are blooming just for you. Enjoy what is in front of you. Come back to who you are within. And if you need help, call us. Just come visit with us and be happy. No matter what, be happy.
Loving you, everybody. Woohoo! Until next Friday, when we get to see you again live at 5. Woo! Love and light to you all. Hugs and kisses. Mwah. Ciao for now, my friends.
Mwah.
Bye.
Bye.